This is definitely the Nether. What are you talking about? They said it wasn't possible. Ha!
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What's up, dears? It's your boy Happy Chap here. Welcome back to another build tutorial. Look at on this one, we are doing the Netherworld Iron Farm. Yes, we are. Now, farming iron in the Nether here is a little bit impossible because you do technically need sky access in order to get it done, which is why they, created the bartering farm. But if the bartering farm and the gold farm is too much for you guys to set up, this is how you're going to have to do it. So we're going to have to exploit some game mechanics here, which are completely possible. And this is how you get it done. Now, remember, this is why they created the bartering farm. If it's not pulling in enough iron for you, this is definitely the way you're going to have to go about it. And these are the items that you're going to need. So I have the items separated here into their two separate shulker boxes. So this one is going to be the Nether side, and then this one here is going to be the Overworld side. Now, just like before, I'll put the totals up here so everybody can see it. But again, here's for the Netherworld side, and here is for the Iron Farm and the Hopper Clock on the other side too as well. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do for this build is you're going to build yourself a nice giant big 3x3 portal like so, and what you're going to do is you're just going to jump through it and go on through to the Overworld. Now, it is important to remember which way you are facing when you do come out. So we are facing, as you can see, to the south here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it, then I'm going to turn around, and we are actually going to build this portal 3 bigger on the right side. So the direction you come out facing, so if you have to do that again, you can go on back through and then come back out. You want to, like I said, turn around and break off the right side, and we're going to make it an extra 3 blocks wide in total. So it's 3 now. So 1, 2, 3 makes 6. Now we can build this up. We can light this, and now we can go on back through. Now we need to mark the sides of the portals that we are going to be working from, because the iron golems are going to be coming out one side, and then the little mechanism that we're going to be building now is going to come out the other side. So what we are going to do is we're going to place down a piece of obsidian on this side here, and when we come through this portal now from this side of the obsidian, we should come out facing the first piece of obsidian, that we did place down here, leaving the long side to the right when we do turn it around. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the other side, and just for reference, we're going to place down a piece of stone, and then we're going to go in facing this way. And as you can see, we come out facing the opposite direction of the obsidian. So now that you guys know that that is how the portals work, so whatever direction you go in, you come out facing the same basic direction. You guys get it? Okay, so there's our stone there. Now we can set up our little permaloader things here. So the first thing we're going to do is on the obsidian side, off of the right side of the portal here, what we're going to do is we're going to come over 2 blocks and then back 1. And we're going to place down a dispenser with 2 hoppers running into it just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place down a piece of sand beside the dispenser, like so. With a comparator coming off of the backside of the obsidian, a solid block with a redstone torch, another solid block above the redstone torch with another redstone torch, a solid block above that redstone torch with another solid block in front of it like so. This is where we are going to put down our repeater facing towards the portal, and we're going to set it to 4 ticks just like that. Then we're going to take our solid block, place it in front of the repeater like that, and that is what we should have. It should look like this when you are all completely finished. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place a rail, a powered rail, on top of the dispenser there like that. Another one on top of this hopper, and then another one beside it, leaving your rails in kind of that position there facing into the portal. Our final step on this side now is just to place a piece of cactus on top of this sand and a piece of glass on top of this cactus here, just to prevent it from growing and then breaking down. Your actual last step now is to just place a redstone torch here beside this powered rail in order to actually power it. You don't need to do this, but it is recommended that you do. And once you have everything complete, this here is what everything should look like. You do want to make sure that that repeater is set to 4 ticks as well. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to head over to the overworld. So we'll go through the portal here the same way that we built the thing. And we should come out facing the obsidian, and we do. So now what we are going to do is we need to set up the same rail system on this side here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig out, but we need to kind of take reference from where we came out. So if we go back through the Nether here, I know lots of back and forwards. Okay, if we step on this spot here, so this is where our rail is going to be coming through, and we just pass on through to the overworld here and see where we come out. As you can see, we're kind of in between the two blocks here, so we ended up kind of on this one here. So this is where we are actually going to start our little hopper chain. So we're going to place down our dispenser on this corner facing up, not like that, facing up. And then we're going to run 3 hoppers running into that dispenser there like so. Now we're going to take our powered rails, run 2 of them on that one and a single one on this one like so. We're going to remove this dirt, replace it with sand with our cactus on top. And right there we are essentially done and finished. All we need to do now is just place a solid block on the back here, just like that. We need to power this rail on this side, and we need to power this rail on this side too as well. Oop, don't want to do that. So we'll place down our 2 torches and leave our cactus there. And now, as you can see, if we send our minecart through, it should come back here in just a second. Yep, perfect. Now, in order to keep this going, so if you guys are unaware what this is a permaloader. This design specifically is by Mango. What we are going to do is we're just going to place down a solid block right here with a redstone torch on it, and then right off of here is where we are going to build a hopper clock. Okay, and right here off of this block is where we're going to start building our hopper clock. So what we're going to do to make this easy is we're just going to run a comparator going into that block with a redstone dust on top of it. Then we're going to place down a temporary block with a hopper going into it. We'll remove that and then run a second hopper going into that hopper so they run into each other like so. Off the back of this hopper, we're going to run a comparator, then a solid block with a piece of redstone dust on top of it, a sticky piston facing in with a redstone block in front of it, and then on the other side, we're going to run another sticky piston facing inwards. Once you're all complete, this is what your hopper clock should look like. Now what we need to do is we need to fill this with 19 items in total. And what you should see once this thing kind of passes back and forwards and relights this redstone torch here, our minecart should dispense, and we should see it come back here in just a second. Yep. And end up back in our dispenser here. So now this system is going to just completely firing. And I don't know if I said this before, but the design is by Mango. So go give that guy a big shout out. And now we can move on to the next step. Okay, now over here in the overworld, so on the opposite side of where your little permaloader is, what you're going to do is from the corner, right here from the edge of the portal, what you're going to do is you're going to build a 3x3 spawnable platform like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your glass and you're actually going to surround this with a 2-high border. So it should look like this when you are done. Now what you're going to do is anywhere here off of the back side, you're just going to place down a solid block with a trapdoor on top of it. Then on one side, you're going to place a bed facing forward with another bed facing forward, and then a third bed facing forward, all like this. Then you're going to cover these 2 beds entirely on the side with trap doors, and the pillow on this bed too as well, you're going to cover with a trap door. Then on the inside here, you're just going to place down a temporary block with a trap door in front of it, and then a piece of carpet on top of it, just like that. Once you're all complete, you can build up the back with glass like so. Build yourself a nice little temporary enclosure. You want to make sure that you cover these 2 as well. Fill in these outside ones. And then you're going to get your villagers in place. Now I have multiple videos showing you how to do this, but the main one that you should watch is the how to move mobs in place video. I'll link it in the description. And once you have all your villagers in place, all you're going to do is just give them a simple little glass roof like so, and then ow. You now remove the entire enclosure here, leaving nothing but the glass in place. And then your final step is to just basically fill the little spot that they are standing in here. Bammo, just like that. And what you should get is the 3 floating villagers in place. Now what you're going to do is off of the end of the bed here, what you're going to do is you're going to count out 4 blocks in total. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Place a temporary block underneath it, and then a slab on the upper of the lower block there. So it should basically be a slab right there, 1 block below the bed. Then we're just going to place down a temporary block in the center of it with a slab on the lower half on the outside of all 4 sides like so. And what you should have is just this little spot like this for you to place a zombie in place. So you're going to want to build yourself the same little enclosure that you did for the villagers, kind of get them in place, and then put your zombie right down and in here. Okay, once you have your zombie in place, you do want to make sure that he has either a name tag or he is holding an item that you do throw him. Again, I'll link a video in order for you guys to understand how to do that. Now, before you do expose him to the villagers, creating an iron farm, what you do want to do is you want to come to the inside here and you want to place down 2 water sources on these outside blocks here. So one in the corner and then one right in the middle too as well. And what you should get is this flow that kind of goes in that direction there. And now all we have to do is expose this guy to the villagers and we should have ourselves a working iron farm. But there is one important thing that we are going to want to do, and this is why we decided to bring all the glass along with us, okay? Is you want to go right directly underneath the villager here, and you want to count out 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you want to go 8 blocks this direction as well too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you want to despawn this entire area in an 8x8 platform. Okay, and once you have your entire 8x8 area covered in glass or, bottom half slabs, whatever is not a despawnable block, you can then expose the zombie to the villagers here. And as you can see, with this method, all villagers will still attempt to sleep, will get spooked by the zombie, and will lose sight of the zombie as well too, allowing them to, refresh and constantly go. In my other videos, I have tried to place this zombie in any other position other than right there, 4 blocks away, and eventually the farm does stop working, so try to keep that in mind. Always a 4-block gap. Even if you've built my other iron farms, as you can see there, always a 4-block gap in between. But now, if we just go back on through to the Nether here, what we should see is an iron golem. 2 iron golems already just kind of lingering around. So let's give this guy a push off. He will forever be our savior. So will this guy here too as well. And now what we're going to do is we're actually just going to go quickly back through and we're going to turn all of that off just for a second. And that is as simple as doing this and putting a solid block in front of the zombie. So that way these guys can sleep and they will not spawn another golem. Now we'll just go back on through to the, on this side too as well. You may want to put a couple pieces of glass here. We got another one already. Insane. Okay, now on this side where the iron golems come through, what you're going to want to do is just kind of dig yourself a little too wide hole like so. You're going to build the glass up on the outside like so as well. Hey buddy, can you go near the end over here for me? Thank you, Mr. Protector. Then on the back side here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a 2-high wall like so with a single block here on the back. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a little platform like this. So as you can see, it is 2 blocks high, so 1 higher than the trapdoors. It is going to be 1 block deep with a trapdoor in it with a trapdoor above it. And this is where we are going to get our final zombie in place. And the reason for this zombie is basically so that way when the iron golems come through, they will try to pathfind to the zombie, falling down into our little trap here, which is where we're going to put our lava pit. Once you have your final zombie in place, all we're going to do is come down to the bottom here. We're going to build a little chute that comes down like so. We're going to place a double chest at the bottom, and right below it, we're going to put down our 6 hoppers all running into it. We're going to enclose everything off here so that way no iron can escape or fall out of it. We're going to leave ourselves a little opening on the side here, and then leaving a 1 block gap above the hoppers. We're going to place down our 6 signs, and it should be on both sides like so. And then if you've done this right, we can now place our lava in place, and yes, as you can see, we're not burnt and everything is holding in place. Now we can close this all in so that way no iron escapes, and essentially you are done and so once you're all done, this is what everything should look like here. So you should have your zombie in place with your permaloader and everything in place now too as well. This here is what the outside should look like. So if you would like to, you sure can build a big giant, like, I don't know, dark red dome around this if you want to make it kind of feel more netherish if you feel. Our final step now is just to expose the zombie here to the villagers, and essentially we are done. So we can now go on through. So as you can see here, we're over here in the Nether. We already have an iron golem coming through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a simple time lapse here. We'll see how many iron golems we get within an hour, and hopefully our chest is nicely filled when we do come back. Okay, one quick update. I did have to lower down the hoppers and the chest and everything by 1 block. I found that if you put the lava 1 block below the trapdoors there, what they would tend to do is float on top of the lava, which I didn't even know iron golems could do, but maybe that's a thing now. So now that I've lowered it down 1 block, as you can see, they fall straight down into the lava and end up burnt up and ready to go. So, time lapse time.
Why you bullying me?
Huh?
Oh my god, he on X mode.
When you are all done, this is what everything should look like here. So all finalized and complete, we should have glass covering everything to make sure that no golems spawn on top of it. In the spawn pit there, I have replaced the side walls with just regular walls and then some iron bars, and that is to avoid any hang-ups that he might have on it. As you can see, they just flow right into the nether. On the nether side here, as you can see, I have placed a block in on the side with 2 glass blocks above it, so that way the golem cannot jump up on top of there and interfere with the minecart. And you want to make sure that you have the 1 block gap right below the trap doors there, ensuring the iron golems fall straight down and into the lava. Boom, right on cue. What are you talking about? We're still at the nether. This is definitely the nether. What are you talking about? Thanks so much for watching, viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.